Okay, hello boys and girls. Mr. Bartletti here. Good day to you, or as they say in Persian, Farsi. Chetori Amrus. Hobe? Okay. Anyway, it's time for Reader's Workshop. We got something different today. Today it's not so much about reading. It is how to have a strong book talk. What's that mean? Well, that's a good question. Basically, when I say how to have a strong book talk, I'm saying that what I'm expecting you to do is to be able to go ahead and to speak somebody. It could be one person, it could be two or three people at the same time, it could be a classroom, to speak to somebody about a book that you recommend and like. We talked about books that you like. We talked about books that give similar lessons or morals. Okay? But this is your chance to go ahead with somebody, and at this time that we're staying at home, most of the time, somebody at your home, to go ahead, get a book that you've read either today or another day, and to present the book and to talk about it in such a way that they'll want to read about it. You recall in Writer's Workshop, we did our opinion pieces where we said, I recommend you go and watch this movie. I recommend you eat this food or play this sport, whatever it was. This is your chance now to go ahead and to present a book during a book talk and talk about a book, the parts of the book, what you liked about it, and recommend it to other people. And again, it's called a book talk, especially a, where to go, strong book talk. Let's take a look at the whiteboard. I can see that. Now, sometimes it's hard to get. Well, we'll go back a little bit, but that's oh, that it does that again. That's pretty good. I mean, if we can get it just like that, it would be good. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay, now, boys and girls, what does it say? It says again, how to have a strong book talk. Okay, so it's not just how to have a book talk, how to have a strong book talk. Okay, we talk about Army Strong. Well, this is strong book talk. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you and tell you how to do that. Number one, it says look at your audience. So here I am. I want to back up. I'm getting ready to present a book to my audience. I'm going to look at them while I'm talking. I'm not going like this, going like this, going like this. I'm looking. Remember we talked about this basically if we do sharing, you look at the people that you talk to. So basically, I mean, whatever your audience is, you still look at them. Okay? It could be a young person, an older person. You still look at them. Like when I talk to you in class, I may, like for half a second, do something like that, but I'm usually looking at you. Okay? I'm not off going like this, like I said, or hiding in the book. So again, the first one is, what do we say? Look at your audience. And I would say this too, something that Mrs. Bartletti had reminded me about. You know, make sure that the book you want to share is good for the people that you're going to share it with. Always. This book, hey, anybody can read this. It's a funny book, no problem. It's good for first grade, we know that. But even people that are older, I'm older, okay, I enjoy this book. Maybe Mr. Bird would, I don't know. But the point is, yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say that Mrs. Bartletti reminded me about. Always choose a book. Don't recommend a book like this to someone who's maybe 2 years old. I'm not sure about that. Or, you know, if you got a book, if you're an older student, you know, let's say you've got an older brother or sister, he or she would not recommend a book that is like for a 10th grader. Whatever. But the point is, yeah, always do that. Now, again, look at the people that you're presenting the book to. Number 2, talk about the book. Obviously, I'm not going to go ahead and talk about, my wool suits. I like to do that. I'm not going to talk about, Italian lunch that we had was really good. I'm not going to talk about lazy cats. I mean, I could, but the point is, talk about the book. Okay, boys and girls, I read this book called The Duckling Gets a Cookie. It's about how the duckling gets a cookie. It looks like, I think it's chocolate chip with peanuts. I'm looking at you, right? And the pigeon doesn't like that because the pigeon always asks for something. The pigeon never gets what it wants, supposedly. And that's what it says, right? So basically, that's what the book's about. And it has, some very good, funny words to it. And it's basically, got really great drawings. Fantastic. It's a funny book. I mean, no doubt about it. But notice again, I'm talking about the book. I'm looking at you. Now, number 3. Add on to say more. Now, I already said something about the book, but I got to say more. I also think that it's got some great colors inside of it. Love the colors. Wow, as far as that. I also think that it's really clever the way that the author sometimes takes a page and he makes 4 separate or 3 separate boxes. I think it's great. And anything else? Oh, I also think it's great that on the inside the book, he'll go ahead and he'll always do something like that. But in the back, he'll change it just a little bit. Can you notice the difference? Yeah, you got it right there. So that was number 3. Did I do that? Yeah, I did. So again, what have I done so far? I've looked at the audience. I've talked about the book. I added on to say more. I also think. How about this? I did that. Now, number 4. Let your audience ask questions. What? Why? When? That's important. Don't just talk about the book. Give your audience, whoever it is, a chance to ask questions. Well, why is the pigeon so upset that duckling gets a cookie? Oh, well, if you were listening earlier, I did mention it, but I'll say it again. The pigeon always says that it never gets anything it wants. It's always saying, I asked for this, I asked for that, I never get it, I never get it, I never get to drive the bus, I got to take a bath when I don't want to. Things like that. Okay? Well, let's see what else. How about this one? What happens at the end? Should I answer that one? I don't think I should. We've talked about it before that if you go ahead and tell a person the end of the book, he or she may not want to read the book. I'm not going to do that. So for that one, you always say, read for yourself. But the point is, give your audience a chance to go ahead, to ask questions. That gives them, if they have questions answered, they may give them even a greater reason to want to read the book. Okay? You want to entice them to read it. Definitely. That's what Mrs. Barletti does. Okay? Okay? I know librarians like her have to do that. And she gets paid for it. You believe that? So that's pretty good. So, number 5 says, give examples. Now, I did show a little of the book, but I can show more. Well, again, I'm going to tell you, wow, it's just the pictures also are so funny. Well, show me an example, Mr. B. There you go. No! I love that. Pigeon's upside down. Okay, Duckling's got his eye closed and also upside down, and the cookie's even jumping. And I love the way that Mo Willems, the author, put no like that. And examples. Well, I also like the way. Remember, I said he divides the page into like 4 parts, but I love the way he goes like this, and he'll say like, I'll put it like this. Is that all right for you? I say, the pigeon, of course, wants the cookie, and it goes, well, what, do I ask for other things? Yeah. I ask to drive the bus. I ask for hot dog parties. Do I ask for candy? I do. Doesn't have to be a big bus, you know. Then it goes on like this. I love this. I'll ask for a French fry robot every now and then. I've asked for a walrus. Right now, I'm asking why. Why? Isn't that great? So basically, I've gone ahead, boys and girls. I've given examples of why I think this is a book you should read. Like Mrs. Bartoletti has said, have to entice the person. That means, hey, don't you want to read this book? That's like when Mr. Bird says, don't you want to go ahead? You know, why don't you go? I lost my train of thought. Mr. Bird, hey, wouldn't you like to touch this polyester shirt? You want to entice him to do that. Point is, it makes them more interested in reading the book. And that's what you want. So again, let's go over the points. How to have a strong book talk. Look at your audience. Talk about the book. Don't talk about the weather or your dad's 1967 Shelby Cobra. Don't do that. 3, add on to say more. I also think it's a good book because, and I think you should read it because, and I also like it because, and number 4, let your audience ask questions. So, okay. Mrs. Bartlett, do you have a question about this?
What makes the page turn? Why do you keep wanting to read it? Is there anything in it that makes you want to turn the next page?
Oh, Mrs. Bartoletti said, is there anything in it that makes me want to keep turning the page? Yeah, I would say, Mrs. Bartoletti, since you're there, I'm looking at you, but I'll look over here now. What it is, Mrs. Bartoletti, is that the great drawings, and because also you always want to know what the page is going to do next. That makes it a page turner for me. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Bartoletti. Now, and it says, give examples. And I did. I opened the book up. I showed you whatever. As far as that, I said, hey, here's why. Another reason why it's good. Another reason why it's you should read it. All those things. So again, boys and girls, if you need to stop and look at this yourself, go ahead. But I expect you to do this today. This is Reader's Workshop for today. I know it's something different, but it's something that's in my teacher's book. And I said, you know what, we should do that. Why not? Seems pretty good to me. So again, I will let you, if you want, you can always go back, look at this. It's pretty easy. The duckling gets a cookie. We read this book. It's a good one. So anyway, today is your day to do it. And find somebody. I suggested somebody either around your age or older. Let's not do 2-year-old sister, brother. We talked about that. A little too young, sorry. Get someone who's first grade or older who may like this book and do this. Have a strong book talk and don't forget all of these things. This is what good readers do today and every day for the next 10 decades, which means 100 years. We go ahead and we recommend books to people and we talk about it. And it's not a weak talk. It's a strong talk. Okay? Can't see my muscles, my shirt's on, but Army strong. Hooah! That's right. Okay, so that's it, boys and girls. I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, no, it's time for the cats to eat. I don't think so. My wife's saying foodie, but is it time for the cats to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my wife said goodbye. Anyway, okay, time to get to work. Don't forget to read today. In addition to this, read for at least 20, 25, 30 minutes, second grade? Yeah. And have a good time with your book talk. And be strong. Hooah!